It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to the Travel and Cruise Industry Podcast. On this, what is today? Today is the 26th day of November. Coming to you from my studio in Forest, Virginia, right outside of Lynchburg. Welcome to today's show. Of course, today's show is brought to you by Will U.S., the owner of Scootaround, and by Chillie's Cruises. We've got several things to cover today, folks. The lead story this morning is how to stay healthy while traveling this winter. And I'll give you a little caveat before we start on that. This original story came from the CDC. Many of you know that I don't have a whole lot of faith in the CDC director and some of the upper level folks at the CDC. However, there's still some of the old pros left. So there are things that are in this story I agree with, things that I'm not so happy about, but I figured we need to cover it. So that be it as it is. So some of it you can take with a grain of salt. Other things we're serious about. Also, this morning we've got $1 billion recovery fund. Royal Caribbean reintroduces exclusive beer. An attorney charged with assaulting an elderly passenger. MSC Meraviglia alters Bahamas cruise. Thanksgiving traffic at Port Everglades, that's Fort Lauderdale. New on Silversea. Luna begins sea trials. An investigation into SeaWorld and lots more here at 11 o'clock this morning on the Travel and Cruise Industry Podcast. Today is National Cake Day. I can deal with that. I like cake. I like just about any kind of cake. So I can go along with having a piece of cake somewhere today. In this day in history, in 1863, President Lincoln stated that Thanksgiving Day would be celebrated annually on the last Thursday of November. So that set up the Thanksgiving holiday. I wasn't aware that Lincoln had done that, but that's okay. A lot of things I'm not aware of. If you're a podcast person, you can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcast from. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and that pops the old fat guy. All right, on the announcement side of things, next Wednesday, here, live on this channel, will be JJ Cruise. Jordan and Jared will be with me next Wednesday. That's the 3rd. Looking forward to that. Two of my favorite people in all of the cruise world will be talking with Jordan and Jared. All of the crew that's going on either February 7th or February 14th or both for the Grandiosa. All of the cabins have been linked together now, so we'll all be sitting together in the main dining room. Now, of course, if you've got a specialty dining scheduled that night, that's fine. But when you're in the main dining room, we'll all be sitting together. They know that there's 2 wheelchairs involved, so we should be on, level ground. But anyway, that's all done and taken care of. All right, so we've been following Hot Air Tom's exploits. I'm not sure if these are in the right order or not, so let's just see. This would be, they ate at the Italian restaurant again last night, and he said the biggest thing he had problems was which one to use to dip the bread in. I don't do that. Just give me a little butter on my bread. I'm fine with that. But anyway, and that's a dirty martini, I believe. This was the night before when he and Cindy ate with all the bigwigs. Yesterday they were in Tortola and went to Jos van Dijk, and he had a painkiller. That actually, he was talking about a fried fish sandwich. That actually looks like a lobster roll to me. But anyway, and a painkiller. I love Tortola. I love Jos van Dijk. I love several of the bars there. Good place. Now, one of the drawbacks is that you have to tender over to Jos van Dijk. One that I could even use. I don't know. But anyway, that was he took that clip because that's always a challenge, especially for those of us in wheelchairs. All right, so also while we're looking here, that would be Angela and Katie. That's Katie out misbehaving last night. They ate at the steakhouse. That was before. That was Katie with some tacos. They're on Liberty of the Seas. There's Angela dressed up for dinner last night at the steakhouse, and having that looks like maybe a dirty martini too. No, that's Katie again. Did I flick the wrong picture? Well, yeah. There's Katie having a little sip herself. And some of the food. And then Katie out misbehaving. So those kind of got duplicated here. Anyway, that's Katie and Angela on Liberty of the Seas for their Thanksgiving cruise. All right. Let's take a quick break from one of our network sponsors and we'll get back and have some news. I'll be back in just a second. All right, Nestor, let's get started off today with the story that came from the CDC. Wait a minute. Where is it? It's missing. What happened to the story? Okay, I'm going to have to reload that. So it's going to take a second here. Sorry about that, folks. Honestly, I had it up, but I've got to go back and find it now and reload it here so we get the story in since I gave it a big send off. Thanksgiving traffic, how to stay healthy. There we go. All right, so again, then I'll have Nest guarded in just a second. I can't leave that not eaten. Anyway, it'll take just a second, folks. Sorry about the delay. That's terrible airtime. I'll say hi to Joanne and Kenneth and Bob. While this is loading, I don't really have the, I don't have it set up to scroll. Let's see. There we go. All right. Now, Nestor, let's get started with the CDC. Again, folks, parts of it, if you disagree with it, that's okay.
Winter travel often means crowded indoor gatherings and a higher risk of colds and flu. To help you stay healthy on your next trip, the CDC recommends planning ahead and practicing simple prevention strategies. Plan ahead. Pack a travel health kit with essentials, prescription medications, more than you need in case of delays, sunscreen, health insurance card, basic medicines that may be hard to find at your destination. If traveling abroad or if you have medical conditions, consider travel insurance that covers emergency care. For anyone with a pre-existing condition, purchase insurance as soon as you book your trip. Prevent illness while traveling. You can reduce your risk by washing your hands often and using hand sanitizer. Masks offer added protection, especially in crowded places like airports, airplanes, trains, and buses. Pro tip: bring alcohol wipes to clean your seat, tray table, and armrests. A quick wipe down helps reduce germs and gives you peace of mind. If you get sick on the road, most destinations have pharmacies, clinics, or urgent care options where you can get treatment. The CDC advises: wear a mask to avoid spreading illness. Wash or sanitize hands frequently. Cover coughs and sneezes. If you have a fever, delay travel until you've recovered. Your travel insurance provider can help you find local care if needed. Pro tip: in many countries, especially in Europe, pharmacists can recommend effective over-the-counter medications even if the brands look unfamiliar. A note on vaccines: the CDC recommends staying up to date on routine vaccines like MMR, tetanus, and the flu shot. International travel may require additional vaccines. Always consult your healthcare provider if you have questions. Staying prepared and practicing healthy habits can help you enjoy your winter travel safely. Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Edmund Bartlett, has revealed that a special fund, valued at over $1 billion, has been established to assist tourism workers who have been negatively impacted by Hurricane Melissa. The minister made the announcement as he led a tourism recovery tour of Ocho Rios recently, which highlighted the phased reopening of Ocho Rios hotels, attractions and local businesses, as well as various responsible and people-centered recovery efforts. A Miami Lakes attorney will be spending a lot of time in court, and likely not for the reasons he is used to. Philip Andrew Ortiz has been arrested after allegedly attacking an elderly passenger while on board Norwegian Cruise Line's Norwegian Encore at approximately 2 p.m. on Saturday. The victim was knocked unconscious and needed CPR, but was successfully revived. The lawyer was removed from the ship and arrested on felony charges.
Discover Paradise. Fourth night free and up to $750 resort credit. Are you looking for a family-friendly vacation? Look no further. Atlantis Paradise Island, a lush oceanside resort located on Paradise Island in the Bahamas, is a dynamic destination offering an array of family-friendly experiences, exciting new partnerships, and unmatched entertainment. Explore endless fun at Atlantis from 5 miles of white sand beaches and crystal blue water, Aquaventure Water Park, innovative cuisine, to dynamic experiences for everyone. Atlantis has 5 unique lodging options: the multi-generational family fun ambiance of the Coral, the iconic new renovated towers of the Royal, waterside villas at Harborside Resort, all-suite luxury accommodations at the Cove, and family-friendly residential-style living at the Reef. Pick the one that fits you the best. Start your vacation countdown now. Discover Paradise, 4th night free and up to $750 resort credit at the Atlantis Paradise Island. Just give me a call, 434-258-9264.
All right, folks, before I get back with the final 4 or 5 stories here, let me bring you up to date on the health issues. Many of you know that yesterday I was scheduled to go to the cancer clinic. And I was somewhat worried about it in that it takes me approximately 2 minutes to load and unload the wheelchair, which is 2 minutes that I got to stand. I have not, in my recovery from this last fall, gotten back to where I can comfortably stand for 2 minutes. Figured out a way I could work around it if possible, but yesterday was going to be the test. So I drove over to the cancer clinic. The chair was already loaded, so I don't have to worry about loading it here. I drove over to the cancer clinic, and unloading the chair went fine. I was a little out of breath by the time I got seated in the chair, but that was okay, not bad. I went in and did the whole shooting match and I'll tell you what all happened after we finished with the wheelchair business. I went through the whole thing. I had my Lupron injection, which is a butt shot. I've talked about it before, and they use a needle about that long. It's one of the nastiest shots I've ever taken. They prefer doing it in the butt because in the arm it hurts like hell because the needle's so big. But anyway, I took that, no problem. Come back outside to reload the chair. So I pulled up to my lift. I had the lift itself on the ground. Got off my chair, and then I drive it on the lift itself. I strapped down the back 2 straps, and I was starting to get a little out of breath. So I just sat down on the chair, on the lift. I was down on the ground for 30, 40 seconds to get my breathing back. Got my breath back, raised it up a little bit, did the front 2 straps, raised it up all the way, which takes 4 or 5 seconds, took my seating pad off the seat, walked around and sat down on the front seat of my car, and I pulled my legs in and got my breath back before I drove home. So it worked. I was able to do it again. So I'm back where I can use my car, even though I'm not 100% there. So I found out yesterday at part of the blood work and stuff they did that I am now anemic. So, and since I was there, they did some more blood work, did some more testing. I'm now scheduled for the next 3 Tuesdays to have an iron infusion. That doesn't sound particularly enticing to me. I've never been anemic before in my life. What I think it is because of the stupid blood thinner they put me on. So I got to call in to the cardiologist today to see if he wants to do anything about that. But anyway, so the people at the cancer clinic got me set up. So I'm going to go do this iron infusion for the next 3 Tuesdays. So then I got home. I came in the house. I had about a 30-minute break. And my PT guy comes in. I had a PT session here in the house yesterday. And working on setting me up with daily home exercises. So by the time that was done, I was cooked. I was done for the day. So, but anyway, all in all, I mean, other than the little setback with this anemic crap, everything else was pretty positive yesterday. All right, so Nestor, let's finish up today. How about the next story?
Royal Caribbean International is reintroducing its exclusive beer, the Chillie, which was developed in partnership with the Funky Buddha Brewery. According to a social media update, the Florida brewed beverage returned in mid-November and is currently available at Royal Caribbean's private destinations, including Perfect Day at Coco Cay in the Bahamas. Guests can also order Chillie on board the company's ships sailing from U.S. homeports. Propulsion issues are added again, this time for MSC Meraviglia. MSC notified guests that the November 30th Bahamas itinerary aboard MSC Meraviglia has been altered. The stop at Port Canaveral has been shortened and all excursions cancelled, while the stop at MSC Ocean Cay has been extended. Guests are being automatically refunded for cancelled excursions and will receive a $100 per person onboard credit. It's no surprise that traffic will be heavy around the Thanksgiving holiday, but many people think of that only with respect to driving to a relative's home or heading to the airport. What about cruise ports? Port Everglades in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, has posted an alert to raise awareness of traffic concerns that can make arriving at the cruise port more challenging than guests may realize. A total of 21 cruise ships will homeport from Fort Lauderdale in just a few days. Saturday will be the busiest day with 7 ships and 54,000 guests or more moving through the port. A Taiwanese national was arrested in the Philippines after his cruise ship docked in Curaçao port. Sai Chin Hao faces charges from an outstanding arrest warrant issued in the U.S. The suspect was discovered during immigration procedures aboard Star Navigator. Port Tampa Bay has reopened after being closed for hours due to heavy fog on Monday. Carnival Paradise and Margaritaville at Sea Islander are both embarked later than planned but were sailing by evening. There are no confirmed itinerary changes for either ship, but further adjustments may be necessary. Silversea has become the first cruise line to deploy AI-powered strength training in superyacht-grade golf simulators fleet-wide. The upgrades mark a deliberate shift toward more technologically advanced wellness and sports offerings at sea. NCL's newest ship, Norwegian Luna, has officially started its sea trials in the Adriatic Sea. On Sunday, the vessel sailed out from Fincantieri's Marghera shipyard near Venice, beginning one of the final and most important steps before delivery. Sea trials are designed to push the ship beyond limits of normal operations. Every major system is tested through a series of demanding maneuvers to confirm performance, safety, and reliability. Experts from the shipyard, Norwegian Cruise Line, and the Classification Society are on board to monitor how the vessel handles and to make any necessary adjustments while underway. The Justice Department's Civil Rights Division announced today that it has launched an investigation of SeaWorld Orlando and its parent company, United Parks and Resorts Inc., doing business as SeaWorld, Busch Gardens, Discovery Cove, Sesame Place, Water Country USA, Adventure Island, and Aquatica to determine whether SeaWorld violates Title III of the Americans with Disabilities Act by discriminating against guests with disabilities. The department opened this investigation after receiving complaints that SeaWorld Orlando and other parks, including Busch Gardens Tampa Bay, had violated the ADA rights of people with disabilities. Complaints alleged that these parks enacted a new policy prohibiting customers from bringing rollator walkers, a type of walker with a built-in seat, onto park grounds. Complaints also allege that SeaWorld offers guests alternative mobility aids that are inappropriate for their disability or offered for an additional charge. Don't miss our Black Friday deals. Get our biggest savings of the year on products in the Scootaround store. We've got huge discounts on scooters, power chairs, wheelchairs, rollators, accessories, and more site-wide until December 1st. Act now. Use code BF20 to get 20% off. Shop online or call 1-844-664-7467. Use SRN 11137.
All right, that puts an end to the news portion of today's show. So let's jump over in the chat room and see who all is with us today. Hot Air Tom says, sea day on our way to Miami. We're just off the coast of Dominican Republic near Puerto Plata. There's Mike says, good morning to Chillie and everyone. There's Steve. Happy birthday, Steve, by the way. Steve says, good morning to everybody. There's Amy. Amy says, happy day before Thanksgiving. Thank you, Amy. Do appreciate that. Kenneth says, hey, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Supposed to get 2 feet of snow here. Santa would send it to the North Pole or send it to Tom. Yeah, no. There's Roger. Roger says, good morning from Jacksonville. Don't eat too much tomorrow. Actually, hopefully we're not going to. We're going to have a little feast here. We're not doing a big, Amanda says she's just not up for doing a huge, big Thanksgiving dinner. That's fine. We can get by without that. Kenneth says, hey, Roger, how's the boarding process on the gym out of Jacksonville? Is it pretty quick? Our Sonny down in Mississippi says, happy Thanksgiving Eve. Roger says, very quick for a second cruise out of Jacksonville. Sonny says, 2 feet of snow would be nice here. Yeah, you can have it, Sonny. There's Joanne says, happy Thanksgiving Eve as well. Kenneth says, Robin and I are going on a cruise out of Jacksonville on 20th of January. A 12-day. Bob's with us, says, good morning all. Have a safe and happy Thanksgiving. Kenneth wants to know, Tom, did you work on your sunburn at all? Yes, got a good darkening yesterday on the beach at Soggy Dollar. I do enjoy. And of course, I've been over there before I was in chairs and stuff, but don't know if I could do it now, come to think about it. But I love just Van Dyke. Pretty beach, great bars. That was just a fun excursion. Jamin's with us, says happy Thanksgiving. Same to you, my friend. Did you go to the nude beach or the regular beach? I can promise you, Hot Air Tom did not go to the nude beach. My first time to St. Martin, I should take us to the beach. They took us to the nude beach and dropped us off. I was caught off a little bit off guard, I bet. Yes, I bet. Hot Air says, I know of no nude beaches. That must have been the French side of St. Martin. Hopefully this MSC cruise has one so Chillie and I can go to the beach and have something to drink. Yeah, not to a nude beach. Chillie's not going to any nude beach. No, thank you, just the same. And it says, yeah, the scenery was excellent. I have a good cruiser comment. Happened at breakfast the morning we were at St. Bart's. Guy walking past our table said out loud, I wonder why they put so many islands here. Unbelievable. Yeah. Wonder what he thought of the BVI area. Lots of islands. Yes, it is. Sonny says, you can now get back on the road again. Yeah, after the iron infusions. Yeah, I'm tickled over that. I've been a little worried about it because I knew it was going to be a struggle. And it was a little, but it wasn't as bad as I thought. Chillie can turn into a vampire and get his iron race. Yeah, well, I don't know about that. There's Gretchen. Hi, Gretchen. Kenneth said we'll get him some prime rib on the cruise, medium rare. Well, now that sounds good to me. I can do that. Sonny wants to know, hi there, Tommy, you volunteered to be the first blood donor? Nope. I don't disagree with that one. If you only see Chillie at night and not during the day, be afraid. Be very afraid. That's probably true. Yeah, I do so much at night anyway. I'm glad we'll only get a dusting of snow here, but 2 feet of snow belt around 30 minutes from here. Yeah. We actually could get a dusting here, but that's all it's going to be. It's going down to like 20 tonight, and the high tomorrow is only going to be like 40. So, but it's going to be 40. Hi there, says lunchtime here. We are an hour ahead of you guys. Bye. Happy Thanksgiving. Lobster in the main dining room tonight. Ooh, very nice. Sonny says, hit the thumbs up button, please. I do appreciate that, Sonny. All right, that's going to wrap me up, guys. Thanks for being with me. As Sonny said, smash that thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed, please take this as my invitation to join us. Don't forget, next Wednesday. Yeah, next Wednesday. JJ Crew live right here on the Travel and Cruise Industry Podcast. That'll be a fun day. Looking forward to that. So mark your calendars, guys. All right. That's it for today. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising. Hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. Have a great day, everybody. I'm a step closer back to getting back to traveling again. Have a wonderful holiday. I'll see everybody on Friday, unless you're out shopping. But I'll be here. Have a great day, everybody.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chilliescruises.